Warning, the following content is unscripted and definitely will offend your precious feelings. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this morning? It is Wednesday. It is hump day. Yeah. Usually we do YouTube talk on Wednesday, but we did that yesterday. So we are going to cover a couple of things that are going on out there in the industry world today. But before we do that, I want to say a big good morning to Project Storytime, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and Chris Persia, the Wrenches of Valhalla, the Wrenches of Ragnarok. Greetings, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Magitech Mags, good morning, Mags. How are you doing? The Lady, Arwen Avalon, how are you doing, Arwen? Good morning. Bob, my brother from another mother. Bob, good morning. Adega Outlaw, the mad doctor of disaster and destruction, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Asaj Melody throws 3 camels into the chat and says, happy hump day. Good morning, Asaj Melody. Pat S., how are you doing, my friend? Good morning to Pat S. Brandon, Looney Tunes fan 2000. Good morning, Brandon. Hope you are doing well this morning. DJ Ronnie G. Daryl the Derelict says, greetings, program. And right back at you, Daryl. Greetings, program. I used to start off my shows with that. That was the for greetings programs and welcome to Pop Culture Therapy. Yeah, I know the show was different. The name of the show was different. It was called Mornings with Loki instead of Mornings of Mischief. Yeah. Loki in the morning or some weird shit like that. Dave G Sound, good morning. But the children. Good morning, Dave G Sound. Lord Bob, how are you doing? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Gun Bunny. Good morning, Gun Bunny. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. Psychodorp 9. Good morning, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good and having a great one. Nearsighted Cyclops. Hello, Nearsighted Cyclops. I'm glad I didn't miss you, my friend. Good morning. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Angela's Draven. Good morning there, Angela's Draven. Claude Sailing. Good morning. Good morning, guys. I hope you are all doing well. Stig, what is up? He says, hi there, Loki. Hope you are well. Taking a little break from reading Wedge's Gamble to swing by and say hello. Good morning, Stig. Thank you. Thank you so much for popping in, brother. I know once you get on a roll with a book, it's like, man, I don't want to stop. I don't want to put it down. I don't want to stop. I just got done with Darth Plagueis for the second time. I just got done with that. I just started Outbound Flight again. So I'm going to read through Outbound Flight again. Good books, all good books, all good books, all good Star Wars stories. So I really liked Outbound Flight. I like Zahn. I can't wait to meet him in April. We're going to go to Valhalla's going to go out to Nashville and represent at the ICC Con with Echo Base Network. So Daryl the Derelict says, never be ashamed of your humble beginnings, Loki. You have evolved into this massive fellowship and have a grade A badass show. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I will take the compliment. Thank you. I try and be. I'm humble. I am humble, and I don't ever not want to be humble. So I try and stay humble as much as possible, because I don't want to be up my own ass about anything ever. That's not me. So I've got that too. I just haven't got to it yet. So I don't know. I get in this, I want to read a Star Wars book mode. And, yeah. So like a bumper. Brian Dawes, thank you. I haven't thought about that since Boba Fett. Like a bumper. Yeah. So, thank you guys. Guys, you're gonna embarrass the shit out of me. So takes place during Plagueis. That's absolutely badass. I love the speech that Palpatine gives Plagueis when he's killing him. I love it. It's like all this culminating. I set you up in so many different ways, and you didn't even realize it. You sorry piece of crap. I love it. I love the speech that he gives Plagueis when he's dying. So, Magitech Max, I wanted to make Nashville work, but I might have possible jury duty that week. Now for the federal courts. Oh no, I hate jury duty. I would suggest, Loki, that sometimes it's good to take a victory lap. You were doing a good job. All right, Dean. I will. We just passed 1600 not too long ago. I try not to have like a celebration at every 100. I try not to do that. I did a thank you video when I hit 15. I don't know. Something said, don't do a live celebration. Do a video and say thank you. And then I got told like that's impersonal, and I'm like, I don't want people to think it's all about numbers and it's all about like climbing that ladder. And I don't know. It's about this. This is what I enjoy. This is where I have the most fun. is getting to talk to you guys. So let's get to this. So the body wasn't even cold. William Hurt, his body wasn't even cold when allegations of improperly treating his exes immediately popped out. And whether that is true or not is not what I'm here to talk about today. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Some woman, one of his exes, wrote an entire memoir about how she was treated by William Hurt. So the idea that, well, maybe this isn't true, I'm not here to debate whether it is true or whether it is false. That is not the point of this. The point is that within hours of his passing, I'm going to show you some of the tweets here. I wish headlines could be like, yay, Marlee Matlin's, finally passed. He was a remarkable actor, but when I heard he died, all I can think of was the bruises on Marlene Matlin. Want to be remembered well, live better. Dr. Raquel Morris, the Duchess of Snark. Let me ask you something. What perfect life have you led? What perfect relationship have you had? You can sit there and bullshit everyone in the world and make them think you're some kind of saint. That doesn't mean you are. You have absolutely no right to say anything like this to anyone. Nobody does. Nobody. Because nobody's a saint. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has done something in their lives that they are not proud of. So by saying this, he was a remarkable actor, but when I heard he died, all I could think of was, well, you know what? All I can think of is you being a mouthy, disgusting cunt. Dr. Raquel Morris, the Duchess of Snark. Everyone is fucking cheering about William Hurt, who is credibly accused of of Marlene Matlin. Don't speak ill of the dead. No, F him. William Hurt was an abusive... I don't care how good of an actor he was or the prolific career he had. Speak ill of them in life and death. Well, where were you? Ryan at Source Ryan. Where were you before he died? See, this is what I don't get, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I don't understand. Where were these people? And where was all this happening when he was alive? Why wasn't anybody talking about this then? Why do you have the right to say something like this now and not when he was alive? Where's your convictions then? Dave G. Sound, he was an actor. These people didn't even know him. We didn't even know him. How many of you met him? William Hurt. How many of you met him and knew him? This is fucking disgusting. This is disgusting. You're pecking at a dead man's corpse, and he's not even in the ground yet. They did this with Stan Lee. They've done this with so many others. What does this do for you? What does this do for you? Is that it, Stig? It's trending and it's the perfect opportunity to score virtual points. Is that all it is? That is vulture. Those are vultures. If that is true, and I believe it is, what Stig said right here, that's vultures. You're a vulture. You have absolutely no right to talk about anything. If this is what you do, and this is how you get your points, you have absolutely no right to talk about anything. It's all about another 15 minutes of fame. And Dean Krantz, the same kind of people always surface. They went after Nimoy and Shirley Temple. I agree with Stig. They are mining for likes on Twitter. That is some sick ass shit. That is some sick, disturbing shit. Nothing gets me dragged harder than calling out dead men. Then why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you calling out a dead man if nothing gets you dragged harder? Why are you doing it? Was going to write a post remembering William Hurt until I read how he treated Marlee Matlin. The deaf and hard of hearing community is often treated like we're not worth anyone's time. There aren't enough tweets in the world to list the names I've been called by the fully hearing. Really? Really? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm waiting. Angela Straven, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something to come out of the corner. I think the only reason why it hadn't is because he was WWE, a Hall of Fame. They haven't gotten around to it yet. Somebody will. Psychodorf 9 with a $2 super chat. They can't excel, so they tear down. F them. Damn straight, brother. And this one is just for you, Sko!
Spartans! What is your profession?
I just do not get it. I don't get it. But that is not the only thing happening in the world of movie entertainment. Our good friend is back in the news. Let me share this. Let me share this really quick. This guy, Alec Baldwin, files a lawsuit asserting he's not legally culpable of killing Helena Hutchins. How do you file a lawsuit saying you didn't do something? How do you file a lawsuit claiming you're not legally culpable of killing someone? How do you do that? Social media brings narcissism, and it amplifies the narcissistic fuel these vultures feed on. It is like watching rats gorge themselves on anything that can feed their unearned egos. I absolutely agree with that. And I agree with this for life. Da-da-da-da-da. Yes, Angela Straven. Alec Baldwin is suing, I guess, to have it known. This is so fucking confusing because I was like, okay, someone's suing him. No one's suing him. He's suing to have papers filed. Alec Baldwin has recently filed legal papers wherein the disgraced actor claims that he is not legally culpable of killing Helena Hutchins and injuring Rush director Joel Souza. This is from Josh Berger over at Bounding Into Comics. Further, the document also discloses that Baldwin attempted to contact the cast of Rush to finish the filming of the movie, allegedly with the intent of honoring Helena's legacy. So he wants to finish the movie now. Remember when they said this movie will never be finished? It's never going to happen because of the deaths in the film, in filming. Sticknoby, why is Baldwin not in jail yet? He should be. He refused to give up his phone. He refused all of these things. I have heard that the phone had absolutely nothing on it when he handed it over to the police. It had been wiped. The phone had been wiped, and that there was nothing on the phone. So he gave his phone up after it had been bleach cleaned with a fine-tooth comb so that nothing was on it. He's a producer on the film, thus he is responsible for everything that happens in his film set. Project Storytime. Helena Hutchins' death is an unthinkable tragedy. Perhaps billions of rounds have been fired from guns on film and television sets over the past 75 years without incident, reads the legal document filed by attorney Luke Nickus on behalf of Baldwin and Eldorado Pictures, Incorporated, on Friday, the 11th of March. It continues, only a few in the single digits have resulted in fatal injury. That's because crew members generally do their jobs to ensure that live rounds don't end up in guns being fired by actors on movie sets. This is a rare instance when the system broke down, and someone should be held legally culpable for the tragic consequences. That person is not Alec Baldwin. Can you believe this shit? Can you believe this shit? Do you know what he's saying? He's saying someone needs to be held accountable, but not me. Right there. There it is. Plain as day for everyone to see. Someone should be held accountable, just not me. Someone should be held accountable, just not me. That is the biggest piss poor bullshit. You're a leader. You're a leader. You're a producer on the film. You're not just an actor. You're a producer on the film. You are a leader. Take some goddamn fucking responsibility, you weak piece of shit. This is sad. This is Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the movie industry. This is what these people do. This is how these people operate. This is what you are looking at. This is why the industry is going down the fucking toilet. This is why you're getting the shit you're getting, because no one wants to take responsibility. No one wants to take responsibility. Mark Dampily tired. He's a coward. He killed someone and hurt another. He should be in jail waiting trial like anyone else who do the same. Baldwin is a human, just like the rest of us, and shouldn't get any perks. Ironcaster with a $2 super chat. Good morning, my friend. He says Baldwin would throw craft services under the bus. I think Baldwin would throw his own mother under the bus if it got him out of anything. Thank you so much, Ironcaster, for that $2 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. This one's just for you, brother. We're going to throw you a dollar. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Daryl the Derelict, 3 people touched that gun. All 3 should be held responsible. That is absolutely positively right. All 3 of them should be responsible. Instead, we get what we've got. We've got excuses. We've got excuses and not me's. Amongst the claims found within the legal document filed by Nickus, one reads that Baldwin had never been involved in a breach of safety on the set of any movie or film and has safely handled firearms and other weapons without incident in at least a dozen films and television projects. The Hunt for Red October, Miami Blues, The Getaway, The Shadow, Heaven's Prisoners, The Juror, The Edge, Thick as Thieves, and Mission Impossible Fallout are some of the movies the document lists as evidence of the claim. The lawsuit also claims that the actor has found himself on set with a gun pointed at him before specifying that Baldwin has therefore been trained for decades about gun safety on movie sets, and he received similar training from armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed on the set of Rust. He followed the training when his tragedy occurred on October 21st. The lawsuit filed by Baldwin reassures. Baldwin's lawsuit claims that Helena Hutchins' death has been obscured by false allegations, finger-pointing by various parties that diverts attention from the most important questions in this case. How did live ammunition get on the set of Rust? Who put the live bullet in the gun? And why did the experts who were hired to check the gun fail to detect the bullet? It then asserts the facts make clear that Baldwin is not culpable for these events or the failures. One of his defenses from the very beginning has been he was handed a gun on set and told, cold gun. Therefore, that makes him not responsible for anything that happened after that, even though he pulled the trigger, which he claims he didn't do, and he fired the bullet that killed her. Lawsuit also claims that in spite of the on-set shooting that killed Helena Hutchins and injured Joel Souza, Baldwin reached out to the film's cast in an attempt to garner support to finish working on the movie. This is the most despicable bullshit right here. This is the most despicable bullshit I've ever heard. He wanted to finish the movie. Let's finish the movie, guys. Baldwin made an exhaustive effort to contact the Rust cast in the hope of acquiring their support to finish the film. He did so both with the intent of honoring Helena's legacy by completing her last work and of compensating Hutchins and his son from the film's profits. He doesn't want to pay the family. He wants the movie to pay the family. Hey, you know what? We'll do a quarter of the profits go to the family. A quarter of the profits. That's so generous, Alec. So very generous. Further stipulates that depending on the success of Rust upon its completion and release, this additional component of the settlement would likely equal billions of dollars. Baldwin's suit also recounted the events leading up to the shooting and killing of the cinematographer. It stated Helena Hutchins was trying to determine how best to angle the camera and what movements Baldwin should make for her to capture the cocked gun that the script called for. Baldwin asked Hutchins what she would like to see to prepare her camera angle for the scene. Baldwin did not perform a cross draw of the gun. He pulled the gun out slowly without issue and held it before Hutchins began giving any directions to him. Hutchins described what she would like Baldwin to do with the placement of the gun, which contained only dummy rounds, as far as everyone was told, further claiming that Hutchins directed Baldwin to hold the gun higher to a point where it was directed toward her. Baldwin asked Hutchins whether she wanted to see him cock the gun. As the script required, she responded yes. Baldwin tipped the gun down somewhat so the lens of the camera would be able to focus on his hand action of the top of the gun. I want to see video of this since they were filming this. While performing this action, Baldwin asked Hutchins, "Am I holding it too far down? And do you see that?" Hutchins responded that she could see Baldwin's actions from her angle. Baldwin then pulled back the hammer, but not far enough to cock the gun. When Baldwin let go of the hammer, the gun went off. As later became known, so wait a minute. If you didn't have the hammer back, you didn't pull the trigger, you weren't holding the gun at her, how did the gun shoot her? And Souza, how did that happen? If you weren't pointing the gun at her and you were holding the gun down and you didn't pull back the hammer enough to cock it and you didn't pull the trigger, how did the gun go off and shoot her? When Baldwin let go of the hammer, the gun went off. As later became known, a live bullet discharged from the gun and struck Hutchins, traveling through her body and striking Souza in the shoulder. Both Hutchins and Souza fell to the ground. Yes, a half cock is a safety lock. Mark the infinitely tired. This does not make sense. Baldwin asked Hutchins, Baldwin did not perform a cross draw of the gun. He pulled the gun out slowly, without issue, and held it still before Hutchins began giving him directions. Hutchins described what she would like Baldwin to do with the placement of the gun, which contained only dummy rounds as far as everyone was told, further claiming that Hutchins directed Baldwin to hold the gun higher to a point where it was directed toward her. Baldwin asked Hutchins whether she wanted to see him cock the gun, and the script required. She responded yes. Baldwin tipped the gun down, somewhat so that the lens of the camera would be able to focus on his hand. If that is true, then it wasn't pointed at her. That does not make any sense. I'm sorry. That does not make any sense. Pat asks, Loki probably wanted them to work for free, sleep in their cars, and bring their own lunches. He's such a sweetheart. He could also replace the guns with radios like E.T. Apparently, the safety's broken. Everything on this gun was broken, and it fired on its own. And, yeah. Chris Persia, bullshit. John Schneider reenacted what Baldwin described with an empty gun and proved that a half-cocked gun would not go off. Yeah, don't Baldwin it. That's right. New safety term. Do not pull a Baldwin. If the gun was angled down, it would have been impossible to hit her. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Dean Krantz, the only way in my experience that hammer could fall is if the sear had been broken, but that is a very small chance. Dave Bob, that's so much BS. I'm not responsible because I've never done it before. That defense would get everyone off. Well, apparently this defense is getting him off because he's not in jail. He hasn't been charged. Nothing's happened. While performing this action, Baldwin asked Hutchins. Baldwin asked Hutchins whether she wanted him to see him cock the gun, and the script required. She responded yes. Baldwin tipped the gun down somewhat so the lens of the camera would be able to focus on his hand action at the top of the gun. While performing this action, Baldwin asked, am I holding it too far down, and do you see that? Hutchins responded that she could see Baldwin's action from her angle. Baldwin then pulled back the hammer, but not far enough to actually cock the gun. When Baldwin let go of the hammer, the gun went off. As later became known, a live bullet discharged from the gun and struck Hutchins, traveling through her body and striking Souza. We know all that. In a now infamous interview with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos, Baldwin had already claimed that he did not cock the gun before shooting and killing Hutchins, but not after contradicting his own recollection of the event, wherein he previously claimed to have cocked the gun's hammer. So he cocked the gun. Now he didn't cock the gun. Now he's cocked the gun again, but not enough to shoot the gun. So he did, he didn't, he did again, but not enough. So his story has continued to change. This guy's scared shitless. He is getting sued. He may even go to jail. I doubt he's going to go to jail because the police haven't done shit about this. They haven't arrested him. He hasn't spent a night in jail. They've just questioned him, and you know what? That's it. Move on. So I take the gun and I start to cock the gun. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I said, do you see this? She says, well, just cheat it down and tilt it down a little bit like that. And I cock the gun and I go, can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Because, yeah, people were like, can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Sure, dude. And she says, and I let go with the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off. I let go with the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off. As the interview went on, the actor then reassured that he did not in fact cock the gun, disclosing that he pulled the hammer as far back as I could without cocking the actual gun. Attorney Christina Martinez, on behalf of Hutchins' husband, Matthew Hutchins, and the couple's son, Andros, filed a lawsuit against the actor on the 14th of February, alleging that defendant Alec Baldwin recklessly shot and killed Helena Hutchins on the set of the movie Rust. The legal complaint further notes that the other defendants' negligence regarding safety rules are also to blame for the death of the cinematographer. I have absolutely no problem with that. Pretty much, there was so much shit going on that set that, yeah, I'd blame the whole damn, all of it. Defendant Baldwin and the other defendants in this case failed to perform industry standard safety checks and follow basic gun safety rules while using real guns to produce the movie Rust, with fatal consequences. It's true. Further, all defendants, including Baldwin, are accused of engaging in negligent, intentional, willful, and reckless misconduct resulting in wrongful death. I would agree with that too. And causing a loss of consortium or emotional losses to Matthew Hutchins, who had been married to Helena for 16 years at the time of her death, plus the son, this boy right here. Rust script supervisor Mamie Mitchell had previously sued the actor for assault and intentional infliction of emotional distress on the grounds that he intentionally, without just cause or excuse, cocked and fired the loaded gun, even though the upcoming scene to be filmed did not call for the cocking and firing of the firearm. Wow. Wow. See, that I did not know. Look at that right there. Over all of what he just went over, everything he just said, Alec Baldwin cocked and fired a loaded gun, even though the scene to be filmed did not call for the cocking and firing of the firearm. A just cause and excuse, cocked and fired the loaded gun, even though the upcoming scene to be filmed did not call for the cocking and firing of the firearm. Again, how is this not like front page? The scene didn't call for it. He wasn't supposed to be doing it, yet he did it anyway. He just went over how it happened and why it happened. But he'll tell you, I didn't cock the gun and I didn't pull the trigger. That son of a bitch was playing with that gun. I honestly think he was. When the experienced crew all quit, stating the unsafe conditions, that speaks volumes. Baldwin is a producer on the film. He has a duty to the safety of his set and crew. He didn't, because he didn't give a shit. He could have solved that entire problem by keeping those people locally in a motel and making sure all that shit was taken care of. And he didn't. He wanted to get this over with, get this done with, move on to whatever he was doing next. This is all about unsafe conditions. This is all about rushing. When you rush, that's when accidents happen. I used to get told that all the time in school. When you rush, that's when accidents happen. And all of this is a rush job. All of this was a rush job. They were trying to get it done quick. They were using the tax credit money they got to pay for this movie. No one else was paying for it. And Alec Baldwin sure as shit didn't want to pay anything for it. The scriptwriter said it herself. She has point blank said the scene was not in her script, and she too launched a lawsuit against Baldwin. Prior to Mitchell's filing, Rust gaffer Sergei Svetnoy also filed a legal complaint against Baldwin, claiming this incident was caused by the negligent acts and omission of defendants, and each of them, as well as their agents, principals, and employers. Simply put, Svetnoy's lawsuit added, There was no reason for a live bullet to be placed in that .45 Colt revolver to be present anywhere on the Rust set. 500 rounds of live ammunition, from what I understand, and the thousands and thousands of dummy rounds they had. And the presence of a bullet in a revolver posed a lethal threat to everyone in its vicinity. Armor Hannah Gutierrez Reed, herself named as a defendant in both the Spetnoy and the Hutchins family respective lawsuits last month, filed suit against armor supplier Seth Kenny and PDQ Arm and Prop LLC, alleging that Baldwin did not respond to Hannah's request on October 15th to schedule cross-draw training. Everyone's pointing a finger at everyone else. Interestingly, Baldwin's recently filed lawsuit does claim that he did not perform a cross-draw of the gun, even when he disclosed to ABC News' George Stephanopoulos that he was practicing his cross-draw when the gun went off. Lies upon lies upon lies. They all fucking deserve to go to jail. Armor Hannah Gutierrez Reed deserves to go to jail. Alec Baldwin deserves to go to jail. Unrelated to the shooting on the set of Rust, Baldwin has also been hit with a $25 million defamation lawsuit for allegedly insinuating that Royce McCollum, the sister of fallen U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Rayleigh J. McCollum, had participated in Capitol Hill riots on January 6, 2021. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So let's see here. I don't reasonably expect Baldwin to suffer the full consequences for his actions given our largely two-tier justice system, but I do hope he's going some emotional anguish at being inconvenienced by ongoing proceedings. Hopefully, can you imagine the anxiety? Can you imagine the anxiety of all this on Alec Baldwin? Can you imagine what that's doing to him? I hope he has anxiety issues for the rest of his life because of this. I really do. Because the excuses, the bullshit, the crap that we are hearing, this isn't how you deal with something like this. No one's culpable anymore. No one's taking responsibility for their actions anymore. Everyone is letting it slide downhill. Like shit. Darth Arlena with a $5 super chat. Good morning, Darth Arlena, and thank you. The epitome of Hollyweird. Hope the family bankrupts him, as do I. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat, Darth Arlena. And I know the fires are burning bright in Valhalla because of you, and burning bright in this village because we're going to burn it down. Skull! Second Orb 9 Loki, there were other accidental live fire incidences before this. Shockwave and I both feel at that moment there should have been total lockdown and hand count of rounds. Absolutely. And they found, like I said, they found something like 500 rounds, live rounds, mixed in with the dummy rounds. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? 500 live rounds mixed in with dummy rounds. There was rumors that they were out back firing at tin cans, live rounds at tin cans, during the breaks when there wasn't shooting going on. Well, picture filming going on. They were still shooting, apparently. Project story time. Many cheaper productions will make dummy rounds from live rounds. Plenty of ways to do that safely, but you are correct. They should be nowhere near the set. Saj Melody, booger hooks on bang switches would get you thrown off any range if you weren't pointing it downrange. Dean Krantz, what Baldwin is facing here, if the first domino falls, he is through, because he knows his fellow celebs will pile on him. Every horrible thing he has ever done will be under a microscope. I think it already is. I think they're just waiting to pounce, just like you said. They're waiting. They're waiting, like you said, for that first domino. And they're all going to pounce on him. And they're all going to go after him because, my God, he's a toxic male. Just wait. Just wait. Look at John Wick, multiple gun scenes and no accidents because they were professional. Baldwin's trying to evade until it blows over. I agree, Soul Assassin. The John Wick movies are very professional. Those people are trained. Baldwin didn't want to do the training. Baldwin didn't want to go through the bullshit. He figured, I've done it once. I've done it 1,000 times. And I think all of this was rushed. Like I said earlier, when you rush, that's when accidents happen. That's when all this shit goes to hell. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out on Wednesday. We are going to cut it just a little bit short. Those are both my stories for today. We will be back with Thirsty Thursday, and we will be back next week with YouTube Talk on Wednesday, as it should be, because Mexican Iron Man is returning to Taco Tuesday next Tuesday. So he has been overworked. He is underpaid, overworked, and running around like a tamale with its head chopped off. I saw Keanu's training clips. Yes, absolutely. Asajj Melody. Yes. If you've ever seen, look up Keanu Reeves training from those movies. It is absolutely insane. Look at the John Wick training clips with Keanu Reeves. Professional. SWAT, SEAL team level professional. So, Chris Burgess says the sad thing is Baldwin is playing victim and the armor is already on a new set. Yeah, they've already moved on. Baldwin's playing the victim and the armor has already got another job, which he shouldn't. Everybody take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And we will be back tomorrow morning with Thirsty Thursday. Have a great one, folks.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.